Welcome, everybody. You are listening to Startup Secrets for Entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, Shelby Oleschlager. Our mission here is to help entrepreneurs make a difference and navigate the messy world of startup or relaunch. Join me today as we dig deep with our guests and to get you the best concepts and strategies to fast track your own business. Today, we have two special guests with us. Rob and his daughter Mary are with us, and I'm going to let you guys do a bit of an introduction so you can say your last name properly. But for starters, just give us a bit of background to what you do.
Sure. Yeah. My name's Rob Sciglimpaglia. It's my daughter Mary Brainerd. I'm an attorney by trade, and I'm an actor and a producer and a voiceover artist. So I wanted to start up a business with my daughter because she does copywriting and marketing. And so we started up Bel Air Creative this year. And we focus on marketing, sales funnels. Right now, our main clients are voiceover artists, but we're getting ready to expand that. And it's been fun so far. So challenging, of course, but fun overall.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about it. So Mary, what inspired you to get into copywriting, and where was this need that you felt to start growing this business?
Sure, yeah. I got into copywriting. I kind of fell into it after college. I majored in English and Psych, and I didn't really know what marketing was in college. And then I got a job in marketing, and then I kind of found copywriting like organically after that. So yeah, I always loved to write. So that's kind of why I went for the copywriting route. And then, yeah, over the years after college, I got into marketing, and then I was talking to my dad one day, and we were like, let's do a business together.
Mm-hmm.
We coach a softball team together. So I don't know why, but we wanted to spend more time together for whatever reason. So we decided to start this business together.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been pretty exciting with some, like Rob was saying, just some obstacles and whatnot. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, of the process of that you've been taking and what it's been like?
Sure. Do you want to do that, Mary, or want me to get that one?
You can start off on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the first challenge was where we were going to get clients. So we're selling. One of the things we sell are sales funnels. So we start with the funnel. That was one of the ways that we started to get clients. And then I just naturally kind of gravitated toward the voiceover industry because I'm a voiceover artist, and I wrote a book called Voiceover Legal, which is well known in the industry. So a lot of people know who I am. So we started pitching to the voiceover industry, because voiceover artists have a hard time finding clients and marketing. So this is it's kind of a niche that they need. It fills a niche that, is for something that they absolutely need to learn how to get clients. So that's why we decided to go there first. But the challenges are first of all, sales, getting ourselves perfected on the sales process and teaching our clients who are artists about marketing and sales. That's been a pretty big challenge because, a lot of the artists they don't really understand business at all. So we're kind of stepping back, and before we can get them to the sales funnel stage, we need to just teach them the basics. So that's kind of where we are at this point. After 6 months in, we've already gone through all those gyrations of, hey, do you want a funnel versus let's teach you how to do sales first before we get to that point. So that's why it's been a roller coaster, a bit of a roller coaster because of that. But like I said, it's fun because we're also learning along the way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Do you have anything to add to that, Mary?
Sure. Yeah. So we like to not just sales. We don't really just do focus on sales, but we'll go from like the start, like how to stand out in the crowded market of the voiceover world. Like, how do you stand out? How do you provide a service that no one else can really provide? So we start there. Then we work on their ads and their funnels and getting clients in for them. And then help them with the sales process, because all of these things are necessary in order to get more clients. And we are learning that as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is it, yeah. So have you grown more from like more away from just the voiceover? Or are you sticking still with the voiceover actors right now?
Well, it's been pretty busy. So
Yeah.
we're also trying to learn how to scale the business too, so that we can take on more clients. So right now, we're in the voiceover industry because of the fact that we need to scale more in order to expand, which is coming. We're doing that along the way, but we don't want to get so bottlenecked that we can't service our clients. So that's the main reason we're staying with voiceover for now.
Mm-hmm.
But this funnel can work with any industry. So we will definitely start to expand as soon as we're getting our infrastructure in place, so that we can do that effectively.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. So I'm kind of curious, Mary, just with your copywriting skills, how has that really helped with this business that you guys are going down?
Yeah, so I would say it's all marketing that we're doing. So like helping them with like there are three things that you need for a campaign to be successful, which is dialed in offer, the right message and the right audience. And all of those, I need to know that as a copywriter, and the client needs to know that when they're like pitching their services to someone. So they need to know who they're going after. They need to know what they're offering, and they need to have the right message to make that all happen. So yeah, all of that is needed in this process. And so like when I'm writing ads for the client, and then when we're writing their funnel copy, all of that needs to be in there, and we both need to be on the same page. So I need to be on the same page with the client, and the client needs to know like who they're talking to.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
The other thing I could add to that too is like voice talent especially, they work. A lot of voiceovers are done at a home now, so you can have a home studio, record it from home. So a lot of voice talent they're isolated. They're doing the work by themselves. So, one of the things that Mary has taught me, and I've learned about sales and marketing, is that in order for you to get clients, they need to know, like, and trust you. And so one of the things that voiceover talent need help with, and we're trying to help them with, is get known. And then since they're kind of, because they're isolated, we're also trying to teach them how to speak to their potential clients so that they could like them and trust them. So it's basic marketing, but it's stuff that voice talent, from what we've seen, really need help with. So
yeah. And that's what it all comes from, is knowing that there's a need for something. And if it's something you're familiar with, it fits perfectly, that you're able to help them. They can focus on what they're good at. You can help them with the things that they don't really quite understand. So with that all being said, with going through this, I'm curious if there's anything that you overcame that you wish you knew sooner.
Mary, you can take this one.
Yeah.
We're just talking about this.
Oh yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like setting expectations, like for our clients, and like when they're working with us, like if you're not on the same page and you have different goals, or you think something's going to go one way and it's really not like made for that, there's the disconnect there. So like setting expectations and like communicating effectively, I think, is a huge one.
Has there been like technology that you use to do that effectively that you found works?
We use Slack, we use email, we do Zoom calls. So like we do everything. And I mean, honestly, it comes down to the client and like what kind of communication skills they have too. Because some of our clients like email, some of them like Slack, some of them like face-to-face Zoom. So it just depends.
We build the funnel. Well, Mary builds the funnels through Go High Level, the CRM, which I like very much. I mean, I learned about that in the last 6 months, and I think it's a great, powerful, pretty easy to use CRM. So I recommend that, and that's a piece of technology that I think is effective for any business, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the all-in-one platform, like we're using the Evolvepreneur app, and it's similar, just that all-in-one platform. And yeah, like it's been incredible with some of the stuff you can do. And even with, like you mentioned, as far as marketing, like you said that you have a book, Rob?
Yes, it's called Voiceover Legal. That's the name
Okay.
of the book.
Yeah. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about that, of what
Sure.
spurred that on and what that's brought you after writing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a book about the legal side of getting into the voiceover business, but it really applies to any of the arts business. It talks about how to set up LLCs, issues that you can run into with liability, insurance, taxes. So I wrote that book because back in 20 it was published in 2012. I started voiceover in 2005, and people in the voiceover business knew I was an attorney, so they would ask me questions. And so I was getting these same questions over and over again. So I wrote the questions down and I put it into a book. So, and the book actually hit number 1 on the bestseller list on Amazon, and it's consistently in the top 10 in the entertainment law category, because it's just information that any artist, basic information they need to know. So that book opened up a lot of doors for me. People know who I am in the business. I was able to have a case against TikTok that came to be, well, because of the connections through the book. But the original voice of TikTok, the voice was used without permission. So I sued TikTok on her behalf, and we settled the case. And so it's just many opportunities that opened up because of the book. And then that led to this, because I started doing production on my own. I have my own production company, and I wanted to try to expand the production company. And that's why I thought the marketing aspect with the copywriting that Mary does is kind of a perfect marriage. So that's what led to where we are now. And this is just I still practice law. I still tutor production, and this is another company that I have with Mary. So I'm busy.
Yeah. Sounds like it's like the life of an entrepreneur, right? And
exactly.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to another question of, I'm always curious, when people start their businesses and they get into this, they always seem to have a very strong why of their reason behind it. So other than that, it just seemed to align and fit well. Is there a why that really drives you to keep doing this and keep improving?
So I'm sure Mary's answer will be different than mine. Well, maybe not. My why was, I over the last couple of years, I was asking I have 3 daughters, which one of you is going to go to law school so I can give you my business when I pass away or when I retire. Yeah. And they're like, we're not going to law school. So I started this business with her so that, this is something that she can keep on and carry on after I retire or after I pass away. So it's a pretty deep why for me.
Yeah. Leaving the legacy, right? And
exactly.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. How about you, Mary?
That is not my why right now, but I feel like as entrepreneurs progress, like over the years, like when they start out, it's like money. Like I want to make money. I want my freedom. And then eventually it kind of goes into legacy thing. So I think one day I'll get there, but I don't have kids yet. So I'm not at that point. For me, my why was my last job. Like I had a boss that was like a narcissist basically. So that's no fun. And I was like, I never want to work for another job again. So I quit, and then I decided to do copywriting freelance full time. And then I was like, I just want the freedom and flexibility to do what I want and when I want to do it. And then we started this together, and it just and then in the entrepreneur like spirit, I want to do different things. I just don't want to do the same thing over and over again, that kind of life.
Yeah, keep that, it's open. And I find we all share that together, where it's like, you don't want to be tied into this little box of like, this is what you're doing. You want to have that freedom and availability to be like, I want to do this for a little while or experiment with this. And before you know it, like you guys have this business, which is incredible. One thing you said that I'm curious about is just that transition from going to working for a boss that you didn't like and then going on your own. What was that journey like from kind of leaving the job to do your own freelancing work?
Yeah. Like in the moment, I was thinking, oh, I really want to quit my job, but I was scared. Like, like everyone's scared. They want that security,
Mm-hmm.
the safety net. But now looking back, I'm like, it was the best decision I ever made. I have more security now. Instead of putting all of my like money tied to one job, I can now have many nets or hooks in the water, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't feel like as nervous about making money and living and covering bills and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. And it takes a while, I'm sure, to almost like trust it that it's like, this is going to work. And you establish yourself where you're more cozy now than you were with your other job. Right. And that's definitely really important. Yeah. So I'm just curious as well. So people listening, if they're listening to this, they want to, figure out like what your clientele would be like. What would you guys explain as your ideal clients?
I mean, right now it's anyone who, right now it's voiceover artists,
Yeah.
but very soon it's going to be anyone that wants to get more clients. Anyone that's in Mary's position when she quit her job, they're looking to get more clients. And the one thing that I wish, that we do now that I wish I did when we first started was managing clients' expectations a little bit, because it takes a little time, especially if you're not known at all. It takes a little time for you to get known. So, but once that happens, things happen fast. But they don't necessarily happen fast right away. And that's one of the expectations that we're trying to manage with our clients now, to get them to be on the same page with us on that. But if you're expecting things too quickly and you quit, then they're never going to happen. So you got to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the entrepreneur mindset too, where you just really have to stay focused. And if it's something that's important, you're going to see it through and overcome those obstacles and whatnot. Do you find it some of these clients that would struggle with, maybe they're trying to, like, they have to wear every hat? Is that something that they have to manage? And if so, what is your suggestion for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, of course, you're going to need to wear everything. You're going to need to be your own marketing expert, your own keeping your books. So your accountant, hopefully you don't do your legal stuff yourself. Hopefully you hire a lawyer for that. But all the other hats, from beginning to end, is going to be on you. But after a while, that's where we're at right now, Mary and I. It's now starting to outsource some of those things. And that's also part of being successful, because at some point you can't do everything. You can't wear all the hats, because it stifles your growth. You need to be able to figure out when and where to best outsource, so that you're efficient and you can expand your client base. So that's a good problem. When we get to that point, that's a good problem to have. So we're getting there. We're pretty close. So.
Yeah, cool. So with that all being said, obviously you're looking to the future, you're planning ahead. What does your next 12 years look like, and where would you like to see yourself?
You want to take this one, Mary?
12 years or 12 months?
12 months. Wow. 12
like
months.
12 years. I don't know if I have that far.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
A couple of months. Yeah, I mean, I would love to scale our business in 12 months and maybe take on more clients like that are not just voiceover artists. Not that I don't like working with voiceover artists, but like just having a diverse, the entrepreneur thing, like to do different things. Mm-hmm. So different clients. Yeah.
Just grow really and start expanding the horizon and whatnot.
Yeah, I would definitely like to start working with different industries as well, because I like, the one thing that like when I'm an attorney, I learn about what my clients do. I have to learn about what they do in order to represent them properly. Same thing here. You really need to learn what they do in order to market for them properly. So, I like to learn about different industries, even though I may not be part of it. I'm still a little part of it. we're still a little part of it by doing their marketing or, by doing their legal work. So that's why I'd love to take on some more industries beside the voiceover business. Cause I understand the voiceover business very well. So, that's why it's a kind of a natural fit right now, but, I definitely would like to take on more different varieties of industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as you're growing and stuff, you start, that just kind of naturally will happen. Like, even like you said, with your book, just that natural progression of the doors opening, which is what happens. And you just don't know when it's going to happen, which is kind of the beauty of it. So for that, with growing your business, has there been things that you noticed that really have worked for you guys to evolve to where you are right now?
Yeah. I mean, the response to the whole sales funnel approach is something that's brand new to voiceover, a lot of voiceover talent. So just by introducing that has, it's raised a lot of, not expectations, but people are excited about it and they want to try it out. So, just that alone is that's pretty exciting, is to get, show voiceover artists there's different ways to get work than just doing auditioning or through your agent. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And yeah, you're kind of teaching them that they have a bit more power in that decision. Like, they can put themselves out there and present themselves exactly how they want to and how often they want to. And if they put more work in, they're going to,
Exactly.
get those results. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they definitely had to take more control over the kind of clients that they're getting, and then they're not sitting by the phone waiting for the agent to call them. Mm-hmm. It's definitely empowering. So
mm-hmm. Yeah. Do any of these like it just made me kind of think of like they're being proactive with this sort of stuff and maybe wanting to like start their own type of work potentially? Like, has there been any like communities with this, of people growing communities to teach these voiceover actors like really what they should be doing with their marketing? Is that something that you guys offer as well?
We do offer that. There are people that do teach marketing to voiceovers. I don't know any other ones that teach about the sales funnel process like we do. Mm-hmm. But in order to see, the thing that we have also learned mm-hmm. is to teach about the sales funnel process, you need to kind of step back and teach about the basics, because mm-hmm. there are voiceover artists that are really good at doing direct marketing. And then when you introduce the funnel to them, it's not that dramatic. But the ones that don't understand the basics of marketing, we have to kind of walk them through those basics that we were talking about earlier before they could, they could step fully into the funnel, which is more, it's a more complicated, complex way of marketing. So, that's one of the things we adjusted with our business, is now we are teaching more about the basic marketing mm-hmm. when we're doing the funnels. So.
Mm-hmm. And when you have these clients, like, is it the goal to keep them locked in with you long term, or is it, because I know some people that do like one-on-one, or if they have any sort of consulting, it's kind of like, here's the time frame and then it's done. Do you want to keep them in there? And if so, how do you kind of go about keeping them connected with you?
Yep. So our basic program is a 90-day program. So we're with them for 90 days, monitoring the funnel, helping, teaching about marketing. And then they can stay on with us after that if they want to continue on with some kind of training, or if they want us to upgrade the funnels and change them and, do new videos and do new go for after different markets, they could do that as well to stay on with us. So the basic one's 90 days, but, if anyone, there's definitely room there for long term if people want to, if they want to stay on with us and do more,
Yeah. You got to give them that option, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So with that, when you're getting these people, you're learning more and more from them. And like you said, if you're an entrepreneur going from like one field to another in different areas, you're going to be learning more. Has there been a common theme that you've noticed with these people, like any common struggle that they need to overcome, either just like with their business or mentally, that you've noticed after working with them?
Mary can take that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset thing where, like, it's kind of like they're like hanging back and waiting, which I think is like kind of employee versus entrepreneur mindset too. Like where as an employee, you're told what to do versus an entrepreneur where if you want to get something, you have to go out and get it. Like, I think that is the major mindset shift that they have to make when they do this.
Mm-hmm. So how would you help them along that change?
Yeah, I mean, we do in our sessions with the clients, we do a lot of coaching with them. So we walk them through like money mindset. Some people have blocks on that. Some people have blocks on sales. Like, I don't know what to say to this person, or they just lead with like money instead of like a value or their pain points or whatever. Like, money's money, right? So yeah, walking them through that. What about you, Dad? Have you noticed anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I noticed about voice, especially voice talent, is that they like Mary was saying, they don't like, a lot of them don't making phone calls. They hate cold calling, which is fine, but the things, the leads that come in through the funnels are they're people that contacted them through their funnel. But even there, they kind of just want to wait back and see if they'll email them, or and they don't want to make that step to call them. And that's what we're trying to get them to overcome, that call all your leads that come in, because that's the entrepreneurial mindset versus the employee mindset where you're just waiting for them to email you a job. That's not, I mean, it's going to work every once in a while, but it's not going to build a solid foundation of a business. So that's the other thing that we're, that's the other thing they have to get used to with the funnel, is that it's, yes, the clients come into you, but you still have to talk to them. Otherwise, they still don't know you. They still don't trust you. So how are they going to like you?
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just getting out of that comfort zone, because I feel like now more than ever, people don't like phone calls, and or even, like for podcasting, you have to get used to that, of putting yourself out there and just doing it. And when it happens and you actually, you kind of make that transition, that growth really, then that's where a lot of opportunities come. So,
right. Yeah. I mean, voiceover is not the type of industry where you can just get an order over, an email, and you can, but you need to already know the person. So, when you're trying to, it really is a relationship-based business. So you need to make relationships and network, and then they'll email you the jobs after that. But you still need to get to know the person on some kind of personal level before they're going to become a client in voiceover. That's what I've seen anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, it's so true. It is all relationship building. It's that power of, you build that relationship, you network with them, and then, they know you, they trust you, like you said, and they're going to want to work with you and have no problem with that relationship moving forward. With that, for people listening, I want to wrap this up. Just, if you have one piece of advice that you could give the listeners, either with from your own client experience or yourselves, like, what piece of advice would you like to leave off with?
You want to start with that, Mary?
Yeah. My piece of advice is, don't give up. Like, it might take longer than you think it's going to take to get to where you want to go, but if you give up, then you have no chance of succeeding. So yeah, that's my advice.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, I echo that. Stay focused. Like you said earlier, Shelby, stay focused, and there's always going to be bad things that happen, and you just have to work through them. And you have to kind of, for me, the advice would be, you have to trust that the clients are going to come in, because that's I've been self-employed now for 30 years as an attorney, and there's always slow patches. Right. And you sit there and you're like, oh man, am I going to ever make another dollar? Am I going to get another client? But you have to trust that the client, they come in. And I always say that the business is bananas, because it comes in bunches, and that's like any business, I think.
Yeah. I like that. That's so true too. Like, and that's relatable for any industry. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but it applies for everyone that's trying to go down this journey and do this and make that life for themselves. So for people listening that resonated with you, they want to learn more from you and they want to maybe potentially work with you, where could they find you?
They could go to belaircreative.co to find out information on Bel Air Creative. Email me at robscig, ROBSCIG @usa.net. And then Mary, you can go for your email.
Yeah, you can email me at mary@marybrainerd.com. So brain, BRIANARD.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you on behalf of myself and everyone listening. Just thank you so much for sharing your time with us and sharing some insight. So hopefully it can help others down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.